Want to know how to name your Pinterest boards? Are you struggling to come up with new names for your boards? So maybe you're new to Pinterest and you can't even think of just a few relevant titles to name your boards, or maybe you want to find ways to name your Pinterest boards so that you can increase your Pinterest traffic and your clicks. So hey there, it's Natalie Bardo, your Pinterest coach here. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the fastest and easiest way to come up with endless Pinterest board names. Trust me, you're never going to be staring at this screen unsure about what to name your boards again. So if you love Pinterest tips, be sure to hit that thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I've got free weekly content coming your way. All right, so let's talk about Pinterest board names and why they're important and why you should even take the time to come up with some proper names. And that's because your Pinterest boards are critical or even crucial to helping the pins that you're saving on Pinterest to rank in search results and get found by your target audience, your ideal customers, and all those lovely people who you want to be clicking over to your website, whether to subscribe or buy from you. So where you save your pins, that matters. So don't just throw them onto any old Pinterest board. You want to make sure that the names you have for your Pinterest boards are using the specific keywords that your audience is searching for, but also the specific keywords that elevate your content so that they can actually even be properly indexed by Pinterest and then found by your ideal customer. So first things first, you might be wondering, how many Pinterest boards do I even need? So if you're brand new to Pinterest and just getting started and you don't have a lot of content, I would aim to start with 5 boards. That's a good place to start. Don't stress about creating 20 or 30 boards. The key to figuring out how many boards you should have is to determine how much of your original content can you pin. So it's better to have just a few boards with more pins than a lot of boards that just have one pin added. And with Pinterest, the best practice right now and going forward is to focus on you as the content creator. That means you want your boards to be filled with your own pins, not necessarily a whole bunch of pins by other people you found on Pinterest. Because by saving other people's pins, you're not getting clicks to your website, you're just inflating your stats. So it's important to, one, find those keywords that your audience is searching for, and 2, make sure you're adding them to your board titles. So I'm going to share with you in this video 5 ways to come up with endless Pinterest board name ideas. So the first way, and this is the easiest win, is to focus on your product or blog post categories. So have you been creating content? Have you been creating products? How have you been categorizing them? You want to look at those names, and we're going to start adding those broader categories to our board names. There's no need at the board name level to also add your brand name. Instead, you just want to lead with those specific keywords that cover the broad categories of your content or your products. So if we're talking categories of content, so say for example, Carly over at 52 Cities, we can see that her content is organized by travel tips, city guides, accommodations, and more. So when we're creating our board name titles, she would be creating board names for each of these categories over on Pinterest. And also, since she's a travel blogger, some of her board names, which are visible under the Save tab of her profile, are going to be based on the cities that she visits and regularly writes about. So also, if you're in retail, maybe you're a product-based business like IKEA, for example, your board names are going to be based on the types of products. So IKEA organizes their products by room. So we've got outdoor living, dining rooms, bedrooms, nurseries, and so on and so forth. So think about those major categories that encompass your content or your products. Those are the board names you need to start with. And the second way to find endless board idea names is to do keyword research. And this is super easy to do right on Pinterest. The easiest way is to use the search bar and just start searching for those main pillar keywords of your content. What do you write about? So to do our keywords research, we're just going to click on the search bar and we're just going to start typing in ideas. So say, for example, I'm in business. Maybe I'm going to type in the word business to see what comes up. So we've got business women. We're noticing that these keywords are more about clothing. So let's do business ideas for women, for entrepreneurs, for beginners. So these are all possible board names that you can use. The second place I encourage you to check is Pinterest trends. And in here, you can find trending keywords that are going to help you write your board names. So say, for example, you're in fashion. I'm just going to type in fashion, and we can see that we're already starting to get idea. So I'm going to do fashion for, and we've got women over 40. So all of these are possible names, especially if you're in the older generation fashion, right? So fashion for women 60 or older. And if we scroll down, we're going to also see some related keywords. So when you're choosing a keyword for your board name, you just want to make sure it's a keyword that people are actually searching for. So inside Pinterest trends, you can actually compare search volume for specific keywords. So we can see right here, if we were going to choose a board name, I would actually choose over 60 fashion as it has a higher search volume, and that's going to help your board and all your pins you add to it get discovered. But we're going to want to make note of all these related keywords as well for a tip I'm going to share with you later. And if you've exhausted your keywords within the search bar or also within Pinterest trends, I recommend that you check out Pin Inspector. It's a tool that's going to help you to find even more keywords for your board ideas. Simply just type in a few relevant keywords in your niche right into the search bar, and it's automatically going to populate endless ideas for possible board titles for you. This is the fastest way to do it. So click down below. If you haven't got Pin Inspector as yet, I've applied a coupon code to the link just for you. So the third way to find board name ideas is to look up niche categories right on Pinterest. So if you head over into Audience Insights, and to do that, we're going to go Analytics, Audience Insights. So here you can actually see, based on your audience, what topics they have an affinity for. It lists all the categories on Pinterest. So to find, for example, if you're in sports, we're going to click on that, and then we're going to see right over here, these are the specific topics of interest to your audience. So maybe you'll create a board called fitness and exercises. Maybe you'll create a board on strength training. And of course, you can use these ideas to help you create better content that your audience is actually interested in. So if you want to know if you're in a top profitable niche on Pinterest, you're definitely going to want to check out this video where I share the top 10 most profitable niches on Pinterest. So the fourth way to find board names for Pinterest is to actually just look up your competitors. They've already done the work for you, especially if they're in those million plus, 10 plus million views profiles. You know they're doing something right. So why not start there? So to check your competitors, the easiest way is once again to head to that search bar. I'm just going to type in related keywords. So say, for example, you're in the relationship niche. So I'm going to type in relationship advice. And we can even see right within the search bar, it's showing us relevant profiles that are ranking in these niches. And yes, of course, you can click on them or open them in a new tab to check them out. You're going to click on their Save tab and scroll down to see what they're naming their Pinterest boards. So a lot of these boards, these are group boards. So instead, we're going to want to focus on more boards like, for example, this one is called Relationship Advice. That would be a great title. Another one is Breakup Advice. So right here, we can see that this person actually has a section within their board. So think of them as subfolders. But the problem with creating sections is that these don't actually do much for SEO. Yes, it helps you to organize your content better, but we want to focus on making sure we have boards that are accurately displaying the keywords of our audience. Instead of creating more sections on our profile, it's better to create more boards. So I would actually make a breakup advice board as opposed to it being a subcategory. We can also see that this is a group board. It's better to to focus on creating boards on your own profile that are your own rather than pinning to group boards. It's all about building up your own profile. So just make sure your boards are your own, not so much group boards. And I did a whole video about that. If you've got questions about group boards, click above to check that out. So back over in our search bar, we're searching for relationship advice. So you're actually just going to hit enter and it's going to bring up all those search results. You'll see at the top, you can actually click on profiles and it's going to show you all of the ranking profiles on Pinterest about relationship advice. So all you have to do is scroll through and explore some of these boards if you want to try and find possible board name titles. So make sure you click on saved. Scroll down and we can see right here, here are some of the board names that these other profiles are focusing on, like modern marriage, for example. You're going to want to make sure that you're keeping track of all your related keywords because they're going to help you to write board descriptions, and you do not need to add hashtags anymore. It is not a best practice. So just focus on crafting some amazing board descriptions that accurately describe the content that you'll be adding to these boards. And the fifth way to come up with even more board names is to think seasonal. By thinking seasonal, you're getting in tune with what your audience wants when they want it. There's so many other ways and ideas that you can serve your audience by creating content that fits the season. And of course, for seasonal content, you're going to want to go back over to Pinterest trends. This is where we're able to find more of those seasonal names and topics that we can add to our board names. So you can scroll down to see what's trending now, or so say, for example, we were in home decor. So we could do home decor, and maybe I'm going to tack on Christmas and see what comes up. So we can see right here, here are some seasonal keyword names that we could use for our boards for the holidays. And you're going to follow the same steps where we're comparing to see what's a better name. So we can see Christmas decor ideas is better for a board name than Christmas home decor. And if you need more help finding specific seasonal keywords, I encourage you to click down below and get my free Pinterest seasonal planner. I've outlined all the major holidays and celebrations for every month in the year, so you can come up with even more better board name titles for your Pinterest profile. And a profile that's doing this is back over on IKEA. So we can see they've got winter holidays as a board. They even got back to college, which would be a seasonal keyword for the September season when everyone's going back to school. So there you have it. That's how to name your Pinterest boards, including 5 ways to come up with endless Pinterest board names. I encourage you to keep track of all the related keywords you find using any of these methods because you're going to want to use them when you write your board descriptions. So don't skip this step. Make sure you write at least a few sentences that better describe what your board is about. This is going to help your board to rank better in search results, and it's going to help the pins that you save to this board to rank even better. So don't skip out on SEO. You want to just make sure you're incorporating all those words into your board descriptions. It's just as important as your board names. And please don't forget, you don't need to create a certain amount of Pinterest boards. It's better to have less with more pins. So you want to make sure you have at least 10 pins in every Pinterest board, and that you don't have a bunch of ghost boards that just have, say, 1 pin added to them or no pins because you're coming up with all these keywords. Just create them as you create more content or more products. You don't need to have more than you need to. So if you found this video helpful, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel because I love being your Pinterest coach. And stick around, you're going to find this video helpful. So bye for now. I'll see you in the next one.